Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Hey, how you doing?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Mark is kind of loud. Hold on, let me lower him.
Thank
Am I loud?
God Mark has that thing now.
I have the
I'm
power.
glad that happened.
My
Hopefully that's better.
balls. My
that better?
balls.
God
better.
damn it.
Mark has a new audio setup, so therefore he's
Just gonna-
booming in our ears.
I'm just gonna mute Mark for the rest of today.
Testicles.
The reason we're late is we were listening to Mark testing out his new audio thing
Testicles.
for the last 15
Testicles. Testicles. I can
Oh
do
my
it too.
God.
I can
Yeah,
do things
pretty
on the
good.
fly too. Oh Jesus Christ. God,
Pretty good, right?
That is
Oh my
thoroughly the worst.
As soon as I get anything new, I just immediately abuse it to the point of annoyance. But it's not so bad if you really think about it.
So we're back.
Yeah,
And
we are back.
unlike many other times in our attempts to do things together, we took a big break from this, 2 whole weeks off, and
Yeah.
we came right back to it.
Pretty impressive.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Not you, not you.
Us? You thinking us or who you thinking?
No, you, Mark.
Yeah.
You specifically,
Oh,
just Mark.
thanks.
You two, I'm thanking you two for allowing me to make sure that you two stayed on task.
You're welcome. I deserve this.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I deserve this. You're welcome. I deserve this.
Just gotta cut that right out. Just gotta, ugh, yuck.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So
I guess I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
I am. I hope you get one.
Is he? I couldn't tell.
I hope you get.
Yeah, I hope I get one too, so you can hear me just be like,
Wait, hang on. He. Ha. He.
ah, shit. Okay.
You're gonna love it when
we
you
got to
get
listen
it.
to Mark try to do an auto tune where he was just.
Oh yeah,
just cutting
the
out
auto tune.
nonstop.
Yeah, is it this one? Is it actually sounding like auto tune?
T-Pain in the house. Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Is
yeah,
it?
that was.
I
yeah.
can't really tell.
Sing I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Oh my god, it's really him.
It's really fucking
Got
funny.
flippy floppies. I'm on a boat. That is one I have no idea what it sounds like.
Fuck, I should not be laughing at you this much. It's only encouraging.
Right.
You should
okay.
start a YouTube channel where you sing and no one would ever know you use auto tune.
Right, they wouldn't. No way. Not with that. No,
How
That-
do you do that
all
with
right.
your voice, man?
Yeah.
Chat just invented the perfect word for that.
Yeah.
It's profession, not perfection. Profession.
Oh,
Your singing is profession, Mark. And
Yeah,
thank
it
you
is.
for sharing it with us.
Profession.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
Is that a perfect profession? A profession?
Yes.
That's not how that's spelled either. So
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Yeah, you're just wrong on all accounts.
Anyway,
Oh, I'm glad New Year saved me.
You're welcome. I deserve this.
God damn it.
I don't know what happened to the ones I had yesterday. Like the ones I was recording yesterday just seemed to disappear. Maybe they clear every time.
Maybe they clear when you turn it off or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, we have like a script.
Oh yeah.
do?
Guys,
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
we
wanna
do.
talk about that shit?
Yeah. I
So,
contributed to
dear friends,
this. Definitely.
I apologize for what I'm about to say, but are we reading the script or are we going off the? Are you guys? Oh, you're just talking about the. Never mind.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I thought we were supposed to write like apology scripts just in case we said something horrible on this show and had to shut down our channel. So I had one prepared. But if that's not what you meant, I'll save that for another day.
Uh-huh.
So I misunderstood what you guys were referencing.
That
You
was a
guys were
really
talking
extended bit that no one came with you for.
about- What do you mean? Everyone's here. You guys are talking right
You
now.
just walked right out off that ledge, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Well, see ya."
That sounds about like every time I say anything.
No
Yeah.
and goodbye.
Yeah. Am I slightly loud? Hang on, let me. I'm fine. Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
So, how were your Christmas eye?
Great.
Christmases?
It was great. Mine was great.
It ended a whole lot better than it started because our trip, we went up to Minnesota to spend it with Molly's family. And the trip up, oh boy, let me tell you, a 12, 13-hour drive hearing your dog vomit like every hour on the hour was pretty awful.
My God. Did you borrow Henry?
No, Presley got sick all the time. And here's the thing, they were both like in a crate because we didn't have like harnesses for them or anything. Yeah. So they were in their crate and just Presley, and then Ginger would of course be puked on and start whining nonstop. And it was just that the whole time. And it was horrible.
Fun.
On the way back, one of us
Sounds
sat in
fun.
the back holding the dogs on our laps, and they were no longer in the crate, and they were like safe and everything. And they didn't get sick once. So the way back was so much better. It was a great trip once we were there, but the trip up, that was rough.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
That's not so good.
For the first 3 days going out to Cincinnati, Amy had to sit in the back seat. So we definitely know the pain. But Henry got used to it to the point where she could be up front and he would just lay down. We didn't have him in crates. We just had like cushioned beds down in like the nooks. And like Henry was sleeping the whole time, so he was good.
We have one of those like, what's it called? It's not quite a hammock, but it's like a fancy thing like that you put over your back seat. It covers your seats and everything. But the dogs freak out if someone's not sitting with them. And we didn't have that long of a drive like you did, so our pups didn't have a chance to get used to it. So we just had to be in the back with them the whole time.
Yeah. Oof. But I feel you. I feel you.
Nothing like starting off a really long trip with the smell and sound of vomit.
Don't I know it?
Goddamn.
How was yours, Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
Mine was fine and normal. Mandy and I went to Columbus and we opened some presents. That story, all the dog vomiting in the car does remind me of my childhood though.
I don't know why, but okay, do tell. Explain.
So our family dog growing up, this is a story I've told a bunch because it's real funny, but I don't know if it's this kind of funny. So we'll see. But our family dog growing up was like that. Anytime she was in the car, cage, no cage, lap, no lap, car, no car, she would throw up. She had a really weak stomach. And one time we were on a road trip and we took Shadow with us up north to Michigan to see family. And we were like in a drive-through. And so the dog was like, it was a minivan. The dog was in the back with me and my brother. And we would sort of like let her out of the cage, like hold her for a minute, to like try anything to keep her from throwing up for half an hour. And at some point we were like in a drive-through getting food. And I had the dog in my lap and my parents were like getting a bunch of food in the window. And I was holding the dog and I was trying to put her away, but like she wouldn't go in her cage. And it was one of those moments where like no one was really that mad, but it was really chaotic. And my parents were just like, "Put the dog away! Put her in the cage!" And my dad turned around and looked at me and was like, "Put her in the cage and shut it up!" Because he was like, we were just, he was stressed out and we were on a road trip and the dog had thrown up like 5 times. And it wasn't that dramatic. He just looked at me and was like, "Look, put her in the cage and shut it up." But what that meant to me was he was looking at my face and telling me to put the dog away and then telling me to shut up. And I like put the dog away. And for like the next hour, like I ate my food and I was sitting there and I was real sad. And at some point, like my dad looked back and was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "You told me to shut it up. That's not a very nice thing to say to your son." And it was this whole thing. And he felt really bad about it. But it was funny because I was a kid and I didn't understand.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You know how kids are.
How old do you think you were?
That was like elementary school, like 5th grade-ish. I don't know. So 7, 8. No, that's not the age. 10. 11.
Yeah, okay.
How does age work?
Any one of those ages would probably be correct.
Yeah,
I would guess.
somewhere in there. I was a large child, so it's hard to judge. I was a big, tall guy. My memories.
I have 3 nephews, and we went fishing one day, and one of them was like 11, 8, and 5, something along that range. And I had this relationship with them where I can kind of like rib them a little bit, and they'll rib me back, whatever, like normal uncle nonsense. So they were being like little shits, and I was like, "All right, if you guys do whatever the hell you're doing one more time, I'm gonna throw you into the pail and let the fish eat you." And like my older 2 nephews like were laughing, and my youngest nephew freaked the fuck out, started bawling and screaming, crying, thinking that a fish was going to eat him, and it was like the most awkward thing. That's how I had to learn like kids sometimes take things very literally at a certain age. Because it was just like we're all having a good time, and then my one nephew just like, the fish are gonna eat me, and everyone's just looking at me like I'm the worst goddamn person in the world.
Well,
it was awesome.
Admittedly,
How'd you do that, Wade?
Yeah,
What?
you might be
on.
actually the worst person ever.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's like a scale, like Hitler's halfway up the list. And I'm just at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have a straw poll. Everyone to vote to see if I'm actually the worst person.
All right, but the straw poll is Wade the worst person in the world ever? The only options are yes and maybe.
There's not even a no.
I think I think we could all see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
What about New Year's? Do you guys do anything fun for New Year's?
I went to Bob. I doubt you know, but Wade, you know Katie best. You were invited to that party. Why didn't you go?
Oh shit!
Why didn't you go, Wade?
Oh.
Yeah,
we streamed instead for our audience.
That was the day after. Did you stream that night? Anyway, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah, I was on a stream with Molly. That was a Monday, I believe. We did Cuphead, and then went up there with the ball drop.
Have you beaten Cuphead yet?
Yes, we did.
You did. You beat the devil.
We did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
I'm so proud of you.
First try. Probably
Oh.
not that, but after an hour and a half, we sure did.
So nice. Yeah, but I've been going to this small little New Year's party with like my high school friends for the past 4 years now that my friend Katie throws, and it was just like it's just so nice to go back home and be like around friends that I've been friends with for years and years and years, and just see like, hey, we're all still here. Hey, that's kind of cool. There's some new faces here and then. But like,
Did you say go back home?
Sorry, I misspoke. Sorry.
Home?
Not home. No way.
Did you say home?
No. I went my old abandoned shack that I used to live in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay.
I burnt it down this year. I really burnt it to the ground.
Nobody goes home to Cincinnati. People just flee from Cincinnati like the garbage fire that it is.
Exactly.
You can all talk all the shit you want to hurt me, but I know how you feel in your heart.
Well, it's okay, Wade. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
It was nice, and we had the typical, because none of my friends own any sort of like cable or anything like that, so it was the typical like 15 minutes to midnight trying to find a janky YouTube stream of some news broadcast of the ball dropping, and it's like our watches tick to midnight and there's still 1:30 left on the ball drop. So like,
Wait, you don't even need cable to find the news outlet, do you?
Look, we said this year, because every other year it's been a crisis. This year we said we're gonna make sure, like an hour before, we're gonna get it all lined up and stuff, and we're gonna do that, and it's gonna be great. And here we were playing code names, not even looking at the TV, and then 5 minutes before it was time to go, we had to like, oh shit, the ball. So
this is not about New Year's, but my dad does like the most millennial thing I've ever heard of. So my parents are Lions fans, football team, but they live in Ohio, which is not the right state, so they never get to see Lions games. But apparently my dad has figured out if you go on Periscope is the place to get like pirated TV, apparently. If you go on Periscope, you can find people with like their cell phone aimed at a TV, shaky cam showing you the football game, and like shushing people in the background. And that's how my adult parents watch football games, which is just the most millennial bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
That is surprisingly sad.
But yeah, you should have tried Periscope, bro. Periscope's where you get all the good free TV at.
oh, cool. Can't wait
For next
man.
year, you'll know.
I'll know now. Can't promise we'll do anything differently,
What was
because
that
now it's a tradition.
janky? God, what was that janky software called that was like Periscope that everyone used for like 2 days, like 2 or 3 years ago? God, what was that called? I think I've got it on my phone. I'm gonna find it.
Vine?
What?
No,
For
it
live
was
streaming?
something like Periscope. Yeah, it was some weird janky live streaming service that came out like for your phone only.
Caffeine?
Oh no,
That's still happening. Caffeine's still a thing.
I don't know what
No,
you're
it
talking about,
wasn't
man.
caffeine. I'm gonna find it. It was something to do with an. I think it was something to do with an animal. It was named something. God, giraffe? No, it wasn't a giraffe.
Yeah, that's it. Keep going. You're almost there.
Cat? Nah. Frog boy? No.
Keep it up, man. You're so close. I feel it.
Listen, I'm
Anyway, for my New Year's Eve, Mandy and I did apparently the same thing that Wade and Molly did. We streamed. We did like custom PUBG with the community though, so we were just like hanging out with people on the server. And then for midnight, we did a custom round with like super long circles. We told everyone to go around and gather up like flashbangs and flare guns and smoke grenades and stuff. And we gathered at school, and then we had like midnight fireworks on the server and rang in the new year.
Pretty cool.
That's so nice. That's real nice.
It was nice. It was a fun time.
Molly bought poppers and then set them off in her office, but they all shut up into her ceiling fan and wrapped around everything and became a disaster garbage fire that is still partially there. We can't get it all off.
You talking about Cincinnati? I heard garbage fire, and my mind immediately went to Cincinnati. You talking about Cincinnati?
Yeah. Also, I stole your thing. Wow, sorry. The mark.
What?
With someone, we had a proposal that night too, I believe. Yeah, that was that night. Two people who met each other through my custom PUBGs. One of them proposed to the other one.
That was Giggles, right?
Giggles and Shay. Yeah.
Did you say
really cool.
Stole my thing?
Yeah, your thing of
My
having
thing.
setting up proposals during your panels.
Yeah,
I know you paid people to do that.
Mark paid people to propose at his
That's
panel.
all a setup.
A lot of false marriages out there that, Mark's increasing the divorce rate probably.
I mean, I paid
God.
you, so I guess you're a testament to that. But it was worth it,
Well,
right?
you stuck with me so far. Joke's on you.
Hey, you know what? That would actually make a lot of sense. I totally understand now, Molly.
What? Come on.
Nothing. No, nothing. It's not a judgment. It's not a judgment. I'm just saying.
Come on. No.
Not like this, Bob. No,
Don't do this
come
to
on.
me, man. Not you.
I worked so hard.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not what it sounds like. It's fine. So yeah. Anyway,
I like our next topic a lot.
what's our official segue? Anyway.
Hey.
I got nothing else to say. Next topic.
Okay.
Well, so Wade, I know you tried to play this. I don't know if you ever actually did play this, but Mark, have you heard about the pirate open world game Atlas?
You like mentioned it last time we were on this, but I never looked into it, and I have no idea what it is.
I have on record, I think I've played about, maybe 10, 20 minutes of the game. But 6 hours played according to Steam, because man, oh man, did I do a 2 5-hour streams of looking at the opening menu, waiting for the servers to work.
Oh boy.
I got to experience the full garbage fire that was. That's a good word.
Well,
Today's
so
word is garbage fire.
He said it.
These letters G for garbage fire.
Oh, I hate that.
Anyway, it's on the paper there, but in case you're not in the reading mood, Mark, basically what happened with this game was
You know me,
December 13th, man. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to participate.
Honestly, thank you.
The game was announced like early November?
Well, so it was originally, it was announced at the Game Awards. It was like revealed, I think, right?
Yeah.
It was like one of those, and then it was going to go into early access on December 13th, and then like either on December 13th or like the night before, or no, the first one I believe was after the time that the game was supposed to be live for early release on December 13th. The studio was like, and pushed it back an entire week to December 19th, or 6 days or whatever that is. But like after the game was already supposed to be out, well after these guys should have been making this decision, they pushed it back 6 days to the 19th. And then from the 19th, on the 19th or the night before or something, it was announced again like, oh, it's not ready, hang on. And they pushed it back a couple more days to December 21st. And I think December 21st was when the servers went live and people could play it. But I think in the first 12 hours the game was out, approximately 0 people actually played any of the games successfully.
Awesome. Love that. Successful
Yeah.
launch accomplished.
No, as far as I
Definitely.
know, nobody knew anything about this game. And then at Game Awards, they were like, hey, by the way, Atlas coming out. Not only is it coming out, but it's coming out like next week. Get your asses ready. You're going to be pirated like you never were before. So no one knew the game was coming. They announced it, gave themselves this like really hard deadline. And from my understanding, so yeah, all the delays that Bob just talked about, but every single day since like since the launch, quote unquote, they've had a major patch. They're on like version 9 or 10 already. The people working on the game have been working around the clock since like December 13th. I don't think they've gone home. So they've been working their asses off. So I don't know who gave them the deadline, whose call that was, but they needed another 2 to 3 months to get this game out. And it's just, I don't know how big the player base is or will be by the time it's all said and done. I don't know how fun the game will be. There was another big ordeal where the game is basically Ark, Survival Evolved, and someone even got into the files of Atlas and they found the title screen to Ark in there where they literally just ripped the game out and basically modded it.
Oh no.
So it is it is Ark where they added some buildings and NPCs and changed the skins of some dinosaurs to be like a fucking seagull or something. Like
Pirate dinosaurs.
I mean, the day I had heard. Oh, go ahead.
So, sorry. Well, so I don't know anything. I played Ark a little, but I know very little about it. I knew nothing about Atlas. But what I heard is like the map, the world map, the islands and everything is literally exactly the same, or whatever, or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it's people who know things about Ark and played Atlas that I have heard talking about it said it's not like they kind of copied. It's literally just a reskin. It's like the minimum amount you could do to make a technically different game.
Wow. Wait, who's the developer then?
Whoever makes Ark. What are those guys called?
So it's the same Ark people that
it's the same company.
Same company.
Right.
Same people releasing the same game. Basically, it's a modded Ark is what they released, but it doesn't work. They tried. The only thing I can figure is instead of allowing like the 30, 40 people servers or whatever the Ark is, this is supposed to be like an MMO or something where there were thousands of people per server.
Okay.
So on launch, the servers didn't work. They allowed like 40 people per server. There were like 4 official servers. So how many people was it per server? Like actually thinking about this, I think it was 40 times like 8. So, 300, 400 people per server. It was supposed to be like 4,000 or whatever. So they had 4 servers that allowed 400 people, and 100,000 people were trying to join. And so what ended up happening the day that I was trying to get on is no one could get on an official server, but people paid and got access to unofficial servers or private servers that they all hosted. So we sat there for 3 or 4 hours watching different unofficial servers pop up until eventually enough unofficial servers were up that like some of the official servers were able to actually launch. But it was a nightmare. One of the community manager of modding, or the modding community manager specifically, was like in my chat all day just apologizing and trying to help me find like some way to get in there. But man, I want to give the game a shot still, but I feel like if they had just waited 2 months to launch the game, all the hype would have been there. And now it's one of those games that it's like No Man's Sky. It has a sour taste whenever you just hear the name, because it just isn't at all what we were promised. And we were promised it 2 weeks before they released it, and it was just an utter failure on launch.
That sounds rough.
So early access is still a good thing, right?
It's terrible. It is so terrible. I hate the early access. I love the idea of who it helps, but in practice, it's gotten to the point where it's just like, we'll just, you can go to the title screen, so we'll just launch it like this, and people will wait. Whatever.
It's like the concept of early access works, and if you do it correctly, as good game developers would, where they don't do the art first, they do the gameplay first. It should look like a bag of dicks, but it should play really well, because that is the core mechanics of the entire game. But developers nowadays are trying to make it look as pretty as possible to try to attract people into it, instead of making a game that's actually fun to begin with and then building up from there. That's what early access should be. Should have the core gameplay, and then every other update is making it more polished and expanding that core gameplay. But when they try to launch everything at once, it's not early access.
And I mean, like I said, I have 6 hours played in the game, and as far as we got, I don't know how many people out there know about Ark or what Ark's games plays like, but basically it's a survival game. You start off with nothing, you go and you punch a tree for a while. I think we crafted a hatchet and a pickaxe, and that's as far as we got.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, no, Pat and I managed to harvest enough to buy a raft, and trying to we were told oh, if you get on a raft and you sail out of the starter islands, the rubber banding and server lag will go away. But we just died on the water because you can't just hop on a raft and go. You'll starve to death and dehydrate. And the rubber banding was so awful. I don't know. I hope it's a lot better. I hope the game turns out well and people have fun with it. It seemed like it's literally just Ark reskinned, but man, oh man,
if you want to look into the future of the game, Ark has been out for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And is Ark fixed? Maybe in the same way that PUBG is fixed, Ark is fixed. But doesn't Ark still have a lot of persistent problems, server instability?
Maybe I've only spent time on Ark on Zombie Mold hosted a private Ark server that we all played on, and that ran fine. I had no issues. I've never actually tried the official servers for a long period of time.
I haven't played Ark in a while, but every time I've ever played Ark, in the beginning it was so bad it wouldn't run on my computer because it was so poorly optimized, and I had a 2 generations old graphics card. But even the most recent attempt at Ark, we played on a public server. It was constant disconnects, constant lag, and bullshit. We were getting stuck in textures. It was like an early release game that just came out with all the little bugs and things that you would think after years of existing they would have maybe sorted out some of those to fix it. But I don't know, man. Yeah. It's just I don't have a lot of hope that Atlas is going to get that much better if that's where Ark is after that long.
Just hard. As our boy Soldier Boy knows all about.
No, that wasn't our segue.
What? Anyway, listen, hey. No, it's okay. So do you guys know anything about this topic? I don't want to be the dominating one. I'm into it. I'm into it.
I know about as much as what you
give us the backstory, Mark. Give us the backstory. I'm into it.
You all know Soldier Boy, right?
Oh, dude.
Famous pioneer of cranking it from east to west. Everyone knows Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy hopped on Twitter one day and announced that he was a tech guru. I'm not sure if that's the exact quote, but he just wanted to start his tech company or a gaming company or something like that. He wanted to really reinvent his image into being someone well respected in the technological world.
Sure.
So I don't think it was up right away, but it might have been up the same time he tweeted it. He tweeted out a pre-order or a place you could just order a quote-unquote console. I think the first one was the actual console. The next one was the handheld. But either way,
that's correct.
This console, in every bargain basement store you'd see in some shitty mall in the back alley of nowhere, or in China, everywhere, you would see these consoles that are basically 1,000 games in one. So many games, one platform, and it's just an emulator. It's a shitty little all-in-one computer with some crappy emulating software and a bunch of hacked ROMs of various games pre-installed on it. That's how it gets away with calling it 1,001 games, and that's all it is. So what I imagined was this company, whoever makes these, approached Soldier Boy, or was probably approaching a bunch of people, and finally caught someone that was willing to work with them, and was like, well, we'll work with you, all right. We'll make it all special for you. We'll make it real nice. And
I love your sleazy salesman voice that you do. That. Oh, we'll work with you.
We'll work with you, man. We'll work with you. We'll get you treated up right now. So the Soldier Game. And so out came a console called the Soldier Game, whereby Soldier Boy immediately implicated himself in so many copyright violations, and it was only a matter of time until the walls kept crumbling down around him. I don't know where he is now, but he's probably in a meeting with many lawyers. And so but the funny part, the comedy comes from his adamant marketing campaign for this thing. What was it, HDMI to 1080p ratio is 6. The FPS is 6 to 1 ratio.
FPS. Yeah. No, yeah. So I first heard about this through JonTron did a video on these where he basically looked at Soulja Boy's like publicizing and website and everything, and then went and looked online on like those websites where you can buy like Chinese manufactured electronics that I don't even know, AliExpress or something like that. Like, and he found it's not even like it's a different like injection molded box. It's not a different shape. There's no branding on it. It's literally Soulja Boy's Soulja game stuff is like Chinese emulator boxes. He's just selling with that name on them, and they're exactly the same. But like you said, my favorite part is my favorite part of it is the marketing is really good, but his tweets about the subject are fucking fantastic. So like he tweeted it and announced it, and everyone was kind of like, this seems like it's illegal. This seems like a copyright issue. And he was so adamant, like, nah, it's fine. And the best turnaround of the whole thing. And let me check the dates just for funsies, because I went through the trouble of writing them down. So on December 28th, just a couple weeks ago, Soulja Boy tweeted something. This isn't an exact quote, but what he basically said is like, look, I'm hearing you. If you think Nintendo's going to sue me, they won't. This is all legit. My console is going to be for sale permanently. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. And then on December 29th, less than 24 hours later, he deleted that tweet. And Soulja Boy tweeted, had to boss up, gotta stop selling Soulja game consoles. And if you go to the website where they were selling Soulja game consoles, soulja-game.com, it's nothing. It's linked to nothing. It doesn't redirect. The websites were saying that it redirected you to the Nintendo 3DS sales site. Yeah. But now it's just nothing. It's just an empty website. And so within 24 hours, he ran the whole gamut from totally legit legal, don't worry about it, to whoopsie. And now he's probably dealing with some lawyers, and who knows. There's no info about if Nintendo sued him or how much they're involved, but you have to assume that's probably what happened.
Someone drew a great like fan art or whatever you want to call it of this, where Soulja Boy was like planting his flag on his hill, and the flag had like the device on there, but the hill was like made of quicksand, and he's just like sinking in with his console planted. And it was just the perfect imagery of exactly how this went down.
Yeah. On a slightly unrelated note, his Twitter right now, the last day or so, is bizarre. Because
I'm gonna take a look.
Over the last maybe 40 tweets is him retweeting and tweeting articles about himself being in a car accident in California in some mudslide. And that's fine, getting the news out, but it's he has retweeted every single article on every single news website that could possibly be talking about this thing.
That's interesting because his last two tweets are an hour ago, and they are, one just says mashed potatoes by Soulja Boy with a link to sodmg.com. And then another one has that same similar link that says Soulja Boy releases new banger Off-White from his new Fuego EP.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Also, his pin tweet is beautiful.
Yeah.
Are we sure Soulja Boy's one person?
In this world, you either crank that Soulja Boy or it cranks you.
Man, true.
908,000 likes, 480,000 retweets. Thank you for your wisdom, Soulja Boy.
3 hours ago, he tweeted about a movie he has, his movie that's releasing in theaters this year.
Oh, wow.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, real life Sonic. They're not going to sue me. It's legit. It's a CGI 6-to-1 ratio of Sonic and what it would be like if he was a real life hedgehog. He's got to go fast.
Wow.
I hope Soulja Boy's watching right now and we get a tweet from him about us soon.
Yeah, he just starts tweeting the multi-link like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Anyway, I
always hope.
On one other it's not my story. Never mind. Move on.
Go on, dude.
No,
do it.
Fine.
Yeah, now you have to.
to.
It's not my story. It's not my story at all. All right, fine. The only other Soulja Boy little anecdote that I possibly could bring up at this point, and it's not my story, but I was talking to Aaron from the Game Grumps one time, and he mentioned how, or was it? He might have like said it in a video. I don't even remember. See, it's not my story. But he said that he discovered that Soulja Boy was following him on Twitter one day, so he like tweeted at him asking if he could share a video, and then he did. End of story. Thanks. Glad so much.
Wait, what? Soulja Boy follows people on... Hang on, I want to see if Soulja Boy's following me on Twitter.
He's not following me. He's just sad.
He's only following 1,600 people, and he follows Aaron? Fuck!
Apparently.
Yeah, well, if you look at followers that I know, Ross follows Soulja Boy still.
Yeah, well,
Not
apparently
Aaron,
he was like he was a fan of Newgrounds back in the day.
Oh shit!
Just like pretty much everyone
That's
was.
legit.
Yeah.
Hey, McDonald's follows Soulja Boy.
Wow.
Well, in the same way that Soulja Game was a container for hacked ROMs, some individuals' Chromecasts and other smart devices were containers for a hack of another form.
Oh!
God damn it. Right. So, next topic.
Yes.
Wait, do you want to read this one? I don't know how much you know about this, but I want to give you a chance, you know?
I can read what you have typed here. So
Just
I know
read word for word. Do it. You can do it.
All right. 4 parenthesis space Hacker Giraffe hacked some Chromecasts, Google speakers, and smart TVs for subscribe to Pewds meme. So what I know about this was the printers. Is the printers in here too?
No, this is after
That was an earlier one, but yes,
okay. So I actually
that's
haven't heard about this one then. Same.
Mm.
I knew it was the same name. I thought this was all just at once. So he actually did it again, just with
it was a
voices?
separate. It was a separate exploit in a separate series of things.
Okay. So the hack did not exploit the devices themselves, but exploited poorly secured home network. Okay, so it was a network hack. Interesting. Do we know if this was specifically like one network or different networks, or?
So I don't have the numbers for this one. I know for the printer one, it was like tens of thousands of people's printers. This one, I think, was a smaller scale, but basically what he did, the
Was
Hacker
it one
Giraffe,
company? Was it like all Spectrum or all like?
No, so what it exploited was not a Google product or a Spectrum. It had nothing to do with the company or the brand or anything. Literally, he just looked for home routers where people had like not changed the default password on their router, or their network password was like password or something that was like easily exploitable. So because what the first thing I saw about this was actually Google put out a statement that was like, hey, that stupid giraffe motherfucker didn't hack any of our Chromecast products. He did not hack any of Google's products. You dumbasses need to put some passwords on your fucking routers. And I was like, whoa, Google's got their shit all wound up about this. So apparently, yeah, it was not any product that was hacked. It was just people with crappy home network passwords. But it's pretty funny because I've watched the video I watched clips of the video, I guess. And it's basically like, hey, change your password on your router. This is bad. Yeah. Also, subscribe to PewDiePie.
I don't blame Google for getting all their like shit wound up. I mean, they probably don't want like their CEO to have to go before Congress again and answer questions about how does the internet not use the phone lines anymore.
Who's this PewDiePie?
Yeah.
Where did he come in?
Are you sure
Notorious-
it's not PewDie, PA?
Infamous Nazi PewDiePie must be stopped. He keeps hacking all our Googles.
Not to throw our Congress under a bus again, but they asked
idiots.
the worst
Some
question.
old member is just like, now I know we all love memes.
Oh.
So, but that being said,
oh my god! Like there was one, the representative or senator out of California, Camilla something. She had her shit together, but some of the other guys, like I remember when Zuckerberg was being questioned, one of them was just like, "Hey, my constituents want better internet. Can you help me get them better internet? Can we talk after this hearing's over?" And he was like, Yeah, I guess so. Is that your question? He's like, yeah, that's all I got.
Damn. If there's anyone who works for like a senator and a congressperson out there watching, if you're like a staffer or something, please find a way to write their statements the next time they have to talk about the internet. I just would love the image of like an old white guy just being like, now, Mr. Zuckerberg, before I have to dab on you about this, I have some questions. Do you know the way? But like just completely straight reading that, and Zuckerberg is just like,
You'd be like, am I being punked right now? Is this just a big joke? I mean,
that would be better than watching them talk about the internet issues sincerely the way they have been. Because oh my god,
I could just imagine them calling a hearing about these hacks and being like, Mr. Giraffe, why do you hate Google in America? What is it about giraffes that make you good at hacking? Like that. Those were the kind of questions they asked.
Yeah. I mean, it's a, we could talk forever about how that's an issue, but it's just like it's a generational difference. Like they have no need to learn about this stuff. I mean, they have a need, obviously, but like in their day-to-day lives, they don't have a need, and they feel like, you know, so long as they have other experts that help them out, then they're good. They can just be ignorant to it.
It's almost like we need to change like the whole, like, you need to be 35 to be in Congress. To be, if you're over 35, you probably shouldn't be in Congress.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this technology is so important, and it's getting more and more important by the day. And so much of our lives and our country is dependent on it. And to have them be like, I still have dial-up AOL broadband in my cabin home. Can you help me get, I don't know, Windows XP internet instead?
Hopefully.
Anyway, the giraffe. Yeah, the giraffe. He's a good guy.
He's got a long neck.
Yeah.
Good for you, giraffe.
In a slightly unrelated thing, I saw an article the other day that just hit. It was yesterday. People were like talking about it. AT&T, they updated some phones to have a 5G symbol on the network, and it's just the most infuriating bullshit I've ever seen.
Isn't that meaningless? They don't actually have 5G rolled out
they
anywhere.
Don't have 5G.
It's meaningless.
They don't. And the whole point behind 5G, they created standards for this because the whole 4G debacle with HPSA plus or HSPA plus, whatever it was,
yeah,
not
LTE.
And it was just like this, and it's just immediate. As soon as 5G, the standards get announced, a company like AT&T is just like, 5G, our phones, we can put 5G on them and everyone will want to buy them. And it's just like, it's ruining the whole point of having standards. Yeah. And there's no enforcement to it because the FCC isn't going to do dick diddly about that. So it's just these companies trying to get out of the marketing concerns of it. And I'm hoping that people aren't stupid enough to fall for this shit. But you know they're going to do that when someone comes into the store like, you want a 5G phone? Hey, this one's got a 5 and a G right on there. You want it? Yeah.
You got to get that 5G, right? You don't want to be behind all those other people. Look at it. We can put as many G's on that phone as you want. There's a button right on that keyboard. Just keep typing them. Just G it up.
6G. This one's got 4G and 3G. It's 7G.
7G.
It's incredible.
Yeah. That's I would fucking love if you walked to, like, as a prank, be like a phone salesperson in like a Verizon store and just like, yeah, it's got 5G, 3G, 2G, 1G. I believe if you add those all up, that's like almost 20 Gs.
That's 5 factorial G. It's pretty impressive, right?
It's got internet, Netscape, Explorer, Navigator, and Microsoft Edge. Google Chromecast is in there. It's got all the things in there.
People will buy that shit. They don't know.
And what's most infuriating is 5G, the hope of this new standard and the rollout of it, and like the driving force behind it is so like important to the next boom of technology. Like 5G, do you guys know what the standards of 5G is?
It's essentially like high bandwidth hardline internet, right? Like it moves into the area where it could be 5G could be like the internet connection for entire towns and cities and stuff. And,
yes.
And
Yes,
it makes
exactly.
mobile internet usable as real internet the way that the bandwidth works,
yes,
right?
because it's not just about the bandwidth, although the bandwidth jump is incredible because the standard is hundreds of megabytes or megabits, I forget which one, probably megabits, hundreds of megabits at low connection quality, up to and over a gigabit per second at good connection quality. That is the standard. It is not allowed to be called 5G unless it does that. But not only that is low latency. That's the other big factor. Like 10 to 50 millisecond latency is what 5G standard is. It cannot be called 5G if it's not that. And
well, holy shit. I need to go buy one of these 5G phones.
Exactly. Yeah. Go to AT&T. Get yourself
no, they got it, man.
I'm gonna pre-order this on soldierboyphone.com. Hold on.
Soldierphone.com. You got the Soldier Phone. You got the Soldier Phone Flip for you 90s kids. We got the Soldier Tab. Got the Soldier Tab Pro. 5G. All of them have 5G. Got the Soldier Pencil. Completely original ideas.
The Soldier iPad.
It's just a pencil. Soldier iPad. Sounds like a different person. I got to keep the Soldier branding on there. All totally legit. You think Apple's gonna sue me? They won't. It's legit.
Oh God. Anyway, it's just like marketing getting in the way of actual progress is so annoying because all these companies, and they better be rolling the out of this like 5G networks all across the net. It'll be like years and years before it's fully rolled out. I mean, it'll start in like cities and in rural areas. It'll never get it. But like it's
4G isn't even fully rolled out yet. It's not hard to drive around, especially if you live in a city. If you drive away from your city, I still get 3G regularly in large swaths of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia. That's not like 4G covers everything and it's time for the next one. Like, they better keep investing in making their 4G network stable and good, because I have Verizon and I pay a lot because it's Verizon and I still get shitty service in places, and I'm like, how is this possible? What are you doing?
Downtown, it's tough. Like, you get down to like into a city, and with like the way that the buildings are and everything, I feel like I get shitty service in cities quite often.
Yeah, it's just like, man, it's just it's so obvious what needs to be done, but like the way capitalism works is just like the bare minimum is all you need to do, so long as it keeps the money rolling in. Like, innovation is completely contrary to the facets of capitalism. So hopefully we can get some.
I mean, you don't have to have a good product. Like, that's the thing that companies learn. You don't have to have a good product. Game companies are doing it. Everyone. You have to have good marketing.
Yeah,
that's all. Shit. Once the money's made, who cares?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Anyway, sorry, I got off on a tangent because that pissed me off.
We should all be socialists.
That's what I'm saying. Oh wait.
Wait
a second.
Anyway, I
think Ninja said something. Segue.
Wow. I had something better than that.
What was it? Go for it. We'll roll it back
in my brain.
We'll roll it back.
Look, so in the giraffes have long legs, and even they like to dance. And speaking of dancing, did you see on New Year's Eve when Ninja tried to get 1 million people to do the flossing dance in New York Times Square?
Yes, I did. I saw that. Yeah.
That was amazing.
And by the way, your segue, wow.
Mine or Bob's? I think you mean mine.
Wow. Now I've got a sample of that. Wow. Testicles! I deserve this. Okay, sorry. It was a good segue, but yes.
You doing all right? Feeling all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
God damn it. Hang on, I'm getting a picture up so chat can see the glorious cringe. Hang on, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I honestly don't have anything that much to talk about this, aside from the fact that I find Ninja annoying and cringy like 100% of the time. So this was just like an awesome feeling to watch him get destroyed by a crowd of people glaring back at him. But yeah, so Mark, you watched this. Did you watch it live? Did you see it live?
I didn't see it live, no, because we didn't have any way of watching it where I was. But no, I didn't see it.
Have you seen this, Wade? Do you know what happened?
Well, no, so I've got no problem with Ninja. I just intentionally seeing
Wait,
him.
what do you do? I am ignorant to a lot of things on the internet, and I admit
see
that.
some of the stuff
I just don't
accidentally.
listen. I don't spend a lot of time on my computer unless I'm recording or streaming. I just don't spend time doing this stuff anymore.
I know that you sit and stare at your iPad for hours and hours on end. There's no way that you're playing a Summoner's War.
Either watching a video or show. I'm playing Dragalia right now is the game of the month, or I'm on Twitter. Those are the only three things I use my iPad for.
Well, videos on YouTube and Twitter are 66% of where I get this information. So,
well, I only watch friends and very specific gameplay videos. I avoid everything else.
I think we should do an episode some week where Mark and I don't contribute anything, and we just talk about whatever you looked at all week. Anything you looked at that was interesting.
I will go through the tier list of best to worst characters on Dragalia with you.
Oh, God sakes. Pass.
Yeah.
I could talk about their new event and how you have to have a light team and a dark team because the boss battle is different than the raid battle, which is unique, and they might be doing more of that. But it's harder for new players because they have to have multiple good teams. Right? You want me to go on?
Yeah,
Fuck
no.
you. Fuck you. That's what I say. Fuck you. There, I use my bleep too.
Yeah.
Fuck beep you. Yeah. All right, chat. For anyone who hasn't seen this, what happened was Ninja was on New Year's Eve on TV for some reason, and he was like, they were trying to break a record of some. I think the record was like 700,000 people dancing at one time, and they were trying to break that record because they had like 1 million people. And he stood up on the stage in Times Square in New York.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if it was on Times Square. You know what, Mark? And
don't you keep up with the ninja's location?
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to do the floss dance. Just do it. And that literally, I think not a single person in the shot that they showed was doing anything except for glaring up at him and just being like, no.
My favorite thing, and I don't do cringe comedy very much, but just, I'm not seeing a lot of movement.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was the hardest part. Is because, like, okay, all these adults that are here don't know what the floss dance is. Fine, and they're not going to do it. And he literally was like, I don't see a lot of movement. Just move anything. Move a little bit. And like, not a blink in the crowd. No, nobody left to go pee or anything. It was like a bunch of statues staring at him blankly. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
That encapsulates the level of distaste that I have for Ninja and his stream.
It's just like, to his credit, I'm great at like public speaking, public situations. I would not be comfortable doing any sort of like hosting of any sort of New Year's events, because number one, I don't care, and number two, I would constantly going, why the hell am I here? Which I'm assuming is what he thought. Like, why the hell am I here? He said like it was a cool opportunity, and he said yes, which I wouldn't have said yes because I don't want to be in that situation. But to his credit, I would imagine I would probably be infinitely more cringy in that situation than he might have been.
Well, and honestly, like, I don't like the guy. I just don't prefer the way he streams and yells and tries to get people banned and all that sort of shit that he does. He didn't do a horrible job. It's not like he went up there and like gave a bad handshake or did something. There was nothing that he did that was inherently cringy. It was entirely the audience reaction. Like, he was fine. No one knew who he was probably, or no one cared who he was. And they all just sort of glared at him. But like, he didn't do anything horrible. It's just that reaction of
floss is pretty
utter
cringy, isn't it?
disinterest. I mean, yeah, that's kind of cringy, but like, that was the whole bit. Like, he's Fortnite guy. That's his bit. Like, fine.
It's just like, he
good.
committed. Like, just commenting. It's like, he committed. Like, that's the thing. Like, it would be more cringy if he bailed halfway through, just but he committed, so it's kind of got some comedic value to it just because of the extreme dissonance from someone who's really committing to something and the crowd who just don't give a So I like it. I don't mind it. That's pretty good. Hey, that's
wait.
good.
Hang on. I gotta look at something.
Yeah. What's up?
We might have a developing story here.
Wow.
Peens in a
Breaking news.
Breaking news bulletin.
Breaking news, everyone.
Wow.
No. Oh, when were those? What the hell? All right. So a friend who's watching just sent me a screenshot, and it doesn't have a date on it, but it's a bunch of tweets from Soldier Boy.
Oh,
in
boy.
order chronologically. The tweets go: Nintendo ain't gonna do shit. Next tweet. 2 minutes later, if Nintendo was going to do something, they would have the first day. My console's not going anywhere. Everything I'm doing is legit. Stay mad, and I'll keep getting richer. 1 minute later, it's so funny that y'all don't know how business works. Lamau, nothing is going to happen. 2 minutes later, why y'all not bitching about the other company selling consoles? Y'all don't want to see a black man get money trying to snitch on me, but I'm not doing nothing wrong. Eat a dick. And we're at 5 million in sales. 2 minutes later, y'all don't scare me. I'm Soldier Boy. Sometime after that, had to boss up. Sorry for the confusion. Don't buy this. That's even better than the tweet that I had found about it. I'm Toby. I don't give a fuck.
Toby not scared. Buy Toby game.
Shit. Yeah. So update on that story. It's even better than I thought it was.
That's hilarious.
I really want to find those tweets. I guess he probably deleted those. I don't know.
I'd imagine.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Anyway.
Anywho.
I enjoyed that.
Toby.
This next one I don't know anything about.
I don't either. Wade typed this one, which I thought was amazing.
Molly was reading this yesterday. Apparently Overwatch finally released like 18 pages or something of lore, and everyone was really excited to get lore. But they've now announced 2 gay characters. And the latest one, Soldier 76, has now come out as they announced that he was gay. But like we're still in that dichotomy where like a lot of the community was like, oh, holy shit, that's awesome. And the other half's like, dude, I can't play Soldier anymore. How am I supposed to shoot people if he's gay? He won't shoot. He won't use his gun anymore.
Those gay hands, they can't shoot. Yeah. It's no working. No way.
I was going to give you credit. I was going to give you credit for that one, but there is a little bit more nuance to the way the lore happened. Well, I don't think Overwatch Twitter was just like, he's gay.
No,
everybody. No. So what happened was there was a scene in a short they released where Anna and Soldier were in Egypt, in Cairo, I believe, and they were sort of reminiscing. And she was going through some old pictures, and a picture came up of Soldier and as a young man with another dark-haired young man, and his name is Vincent, and they talked about it briefly and sort of implied that he was romantically involved with Vincent, but Vincent had married someone else and had a better life and all this stuff. And then later, the person who designed the story for that short that was released on Twitter was like, yes, Soldier 76 or the sergeant, whatever his name is, and Vincent were romantically related. Soldier was interested in him, and so they confirmed that he is gay or queer, bi, or it's non-specific, but basically Soldier is not just straight, he is queer in some way. So that's how it came out. Just the way you said it made my brain be like they announced that he was gay, and
the way they handled it was fine. The outrage is more like people that are just like, I can't. How am I supposed to? Like Call of Duty guy, I can't play him anymore. And like that's the stupid thing. As if that really affects anything. Like, let whoever designs the game make the game how they want. Let them make the characters how they want to. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. Make your own game, make everyone straight or whatever you want. But just some of the, like, I don't know, you can go through the feed. There's a huge, like, people have posted images and retweeted shit that shows all the different, like, messages of just the overreaction as if this affects the gameplay at all. But a lot of people are really happy about there being a lot of lore coming out, which was another positive, in my opinion, of it, is they're finally, like, I don't care that much about playing Overwatch, but the story does interest me. I'm interested to learn more. I love the shorts. Blizzard's always done a great job with their animated shorts. It's old, even Diablo 2, like the movie clips in between were so well done comparatively, and they've only gotten better with that. So getting more and more lore, I feel like it's a great thing. I have no personal investment. I don't care if characters come out as gay or bi or trans or whatever. Like I'm all for diversity in games. It does not bother me, but some people are just so upset by this. And that's the ridiculousness, in my opinion. But I thought, I think the guy's name is it Michael Chu? Can anybody confirm what the guy's name is?
I think that's correct. I guess I could actually look.
I think he's the one who wrote
sitting on a computer.
Does a lot of the writing. But in my opinion, he's done a good job. Well, they finally let him, or he finally came out and wrote a bunch of stuff, and I thought it was.
Yeah, at West of House, Michael Chu on Twitter is the lead writer of Overwatch. Is his position as listed on Twitter?
Yeah.
Jared Versal just commented that a lot of people won't play Last of Us 2 because Ellie is gay from The Last of Us. That's another go ahead, Mark. That's just frustrates me.
I was just also saying it's just so weird. Some people's visceral reactions to something like that, and then they'll come out being like, "I'm not against gay people, but this is ridiculous. It's completely rewriting the history of what I thought in my head I knew was going on of this thing that I don't own and only play." I didn't write it, but I have an opinion, and it's just why do you care that much? It's the same thing in you guys aren't in the Warhammer 40k fandom or universe at all, but I'm a fan of Warhammer 40k and stuff like that. It's the same weird visceral reaction if you even suggest the idea that you could have female space marines. There is the most animalistic rejection of that, and I've got no say in the fight one way or another. I don't care, which I feel should be the majority of people's opinions about these kind of things. Is oh, okay, it doesn't bother me, so I don't care. But some people are just no, a woman space marine, no. And it's just why do you care so much? What is this to you? And it's the same thing with this. It's why do you care that much?
Yeah, I that's the thing that's kind of disheartening to me, I guess, is I can understand if a company so to compare this to something similar but different, and at least I feel a little bit different. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter and is currently writing the stories for the Fantastic Beasts. She's the Harry Potter author lady, and way after the books were out, way after the fact, with no evidence in the books, at some point, I don't know the whole story, but at some point she came out with the fact that Dumbledore is gay, right? In the Harry Potter books, Dumbledore, the character who's in all the stories, across a lot of stories, she was just oh yeah, he's gay, he's definitely gay. And that the way that all played out, I know people had a lot of negative reactions because it seemed like she was just trying to take her work that she had done and shoehorn this in where it was he's definitely gay. I'm trying to be inclusive now. I'm going to rewrite my own narrative a little bit. Whereas with Overwatch, I do feel it's different because they're crafting the narrative around the game. There was nothing to suggest that Soldier was gay before this, but there was nothing about him before this at all. His lore was super limited. You had little snippets of him, but I feel if they're crafting this and their goal is to be inclusive and to have representation from diverse communities in their game, I think it's fair of them to want to do that. I can understand if you don't think that's a good thing. I guess you think that's still shoehorning, or you think it's, they're just trying to sell copies by having gay characters or whatever. That's a debate. The thing that really disheartens me is when you go out on forums or I was looking at comments on a news story about this, people are why are they targeting male-oriented media to push this feminazi narrative? Why are they subjecting me to this? He's gay? That ruins this for everyone. This is a man's game, and people who react like that, I don't understand it. Even if you personally find gay people somehow against your religion or against your personal beliefs, one, I think you're a shitty person. I think you need to open your perspective a little bit, and I think that's not good. That's not an accurate way to view the world, but there are people that think that. But how does that affect you personally? The fact that a character in a game exists and is gay or queer or whatever doesn't change anything. How does that impact you? Even if you don't like it, it's the same game. You don't even have to read the narrative. I don't read any of the comics that they put out. I watched the shorts like 3 months after their release. Like, it's not part of the game. It's not like Soldier's voice lines are all like weird and different now, and he's like, oh yeah, we're all heroes now. Like, they didn't make him flamboyant. They didn't try and make it so that you have to know he is gay. It doesn't affect you. Like, he's the same person. He's just also has a more complex sexuality than being a straight white guy. Like, what the fuck?
They change his voice.
It doesn't make any sense.
We're all gay now.
Yeah. Like, there's a new Soldier voice line that comes out, and he's like, oh, honey, those pumps look so great on you. Like, no, they didn't do that. They're not trying to make you see anything. They're just building a backstory. That's the thing I don't understand, and I find really disheartening, is like, why are straight men so sensitive that the existence of a gay person in a world that they enjoy, that they work, they play a game within, how is that offending you personally? How does that affect you in the slightest? I don't understand that. I think there is a debate to be had, but that makes me go fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just so dumb, because it's not even like sexuality is the cornerstone of every person's personality. Like, it's not. Like, it's a facet of it. Sure, it affects their life, but like, why would you take that information out of Soldier 76 character, and that's the one thing is like, impossible. There's no way, and I don't like this. It's like, okay, whatever. It's fine.
On a random note, unrelated, but you brought up J.K. Rowling